Hi guys, quick video on basic needs of equipment you need for ghost hunting. If you want to start ghost hunting, I'm going to show you some of the basic needs that you will require. Hi guys, on the bed I'm going to show you, and it depends on how much of funds you got to spend out on ghost hunting gear. I originally started off with my trusty Nokia E5 mobile phone for EVP recordings, and they do pick up really good EVPs. You can still pick these up for about £10 on eBay, second hand. It's got an EVP or an audio recorder in the actual media settings of the mobile. Right there, I don't need to see that. Daylight is like screwing things up. Well, your microphone is actually actual audio recorder. And then the basic camera. That's what I started off with. EVPs and digital camera. Cameras you can pick up anything from about, well, I'll say 25 up to like a couple £100 really, but basic standard camera will do you okay. You can get modified ones on eBay, which has been converted to full spectrum, which is like a pinky tint. All they've done is they've taken out a filter in now, and it gives you that little pinkish tint kind of colouring, and that's like a different spectrum of light, which you can see spirits through. So yeah, like an EVP recorder and a camera. Another thing you could get, if you don't have like recording facility on your mobile, you can buy cheap recorders. This one's okay. Costs around about £35–40. If you can, try to get one with a USB slot thing in it, which is just there. So you can charge it, and get one which has got a mini SD card, so you can actually save your recordings to your SD. Because then that way you won't have to keep like deleting files off your recorder. This recorder actually does record up to 2 gig by itself, but if that runs out, then you can actually start using your internal memory, your SD card. For EMF, you can get like a K2 meter. K2 meter at the moment, I think the cheapest one is around about £40. You can go as high as £50. An EMF detector just picks up, any kind of fluctuations of EMF fields, which spirits are known to give off, like EMF, and they also feed off EMF as well. So K2 meter will pick up spiritual activity. Once it starts flashing, you've got something now, but it doesn't mean it's 100% a ghost, kind of thing. It's just like, it's just detecting something that is affecting the K2 meter, possible ghost, possibly some kind of EMF that's floating around. Or you can go out and buy something a bit more expensive. This is about 160 now. I think I bought this one for about 130 actually, but the prices are going up. This actually picks up EMF. It's also got a built-in temperature gauge, so anything actually sets off the antenna, it will go, and it gives you a rough idea on what is being detected in milligauss. You can use this, for just temperature, and you can also use it as like a built-in, it's like a built-in K2 meter. So it's got one of these built into it, but completely different to this one. It's set up, you know, as a different frequency, I suppose. So say these about 160. If your antenna breaks or you start getting like dash dash dash, it means because this has actually gone 40 and you'll need to buy another one, and you can only seem to buy those in America. It's also got built-in flashlight as well. I'm not going to do kind of a review on this. I'm just telling you that this is, you know, used as like for picking up EMF. I've seen a lot of people get spikes on the actual K2 meter, kind of built in. But that's again, you know, it doesn't mean it's like supernatural, spiritual, ghostly, whatever. So again, £160. I think they might have gone down. I don't know, but I paid 130, I think, for my one. But I've seen it go between 130 to 160, 170 pounds, and they have got actual several different models of these, which all do different things. So, you know, if you want something like high tech, one of those. Otherwise, just use like K2 meter. Some people say that an EM pump generates like EMF, electromagnetic fields, that spirits are able to use and manipulate in setting off your devices. Never use the EM pump near a EMF device detector, because it will give you false readings. Like if I turn it on and put K2 meter on, you know, that is not a ghost that's setting off. It's this, an EM pump. An EM pump is just generating its own EMF fields for spirits to use, so they can try and manifest either as an orb or an actual full-blown apparition, or just use to, you know, help to set off your devices. If you can't afford one of these, which has got a built-in temperature gauge, you can always buy one of these little temperature meter things. Get them for about £5 on eBay. They're not expensive. Of course, always get some head torches. You know, head torches is a must. You're going to be walking out in the pitch black. You know, this one's not working because the battery's gone flat, but you know, you can get the head type ones, which this one is, or you can get just like a normal flashlight. You can get dark light ones, which is like full spectrum, which are ultraviolet UV lights. This ain't a normal flashlight. It's giving off the peak, you know, the pink illumination. So say like, you know, if you get a converted camera, being one of these, they are actually being modified. Well, this one is anyway, I believe. I can't turn them because the battery's flat, but it's been modified to give that pinkish, purplish illumination for it to actually pick up, you know, possible spirits in a different light field, light spectrum. Camcorders. If you want to get a camcorder, you can buy different types of camcorders. If you're going to do daytime ones, you know, you can use like a normal mobile phone with a video facility built in, or you can go and buy like a cheap camcorder. This one's actually been converted to full spectrum, but you can get a non-converted one for about 40, anything from 40 up to £60 second hand with a built-in hard drive. This has got like a I can't remember what size hard drive this one is actually. I think it's either 30 gig or 40 gig hard drive built into this one. And you can actually save all your data on here, get home and transfer it over to your PC. If you want a night vision one, you can buy camera recorders with night vision. Doing one like this actually cost me £65, I think it was. It's got no hard drive built into it because it uses a memory card. Which I can't open. Yeah, there we go. This one's got a built-in memory card reader at the bottom, so it saves all your data on your memory card. And then all we've got to do is take your memory card out, stick in your computer, and transfer it over. This cost £65. The batteries were very hard to get, to be honest with you, because they only come with one battery, but they are now actually selling batteries like this for about £4 each. So they are getting more available to buy nowadays. But when I first bought this, you know, the battery would take a couple of hours to charge up, and you only get like 30 minutes video on each battery, which was a bit of a pain in the ass actually. But now you can actually buy these, you know, separately. I have actually got another 3 of these, so I can at least have 2 hours videoing on this camera. And this camera is actually night shot. And when you turn it on, which I can't because the batteries are flat and I can't remember what the other batteries. When you turn it on, push a certain button. I think it's this one here. It'll actually go into like black and white, which is like night shot. And if you push it again, it'll go into standard night video recording. So like if I'm doing daytime, you know, I can actually record this as normal daytime video recording. But if I want to go into like night shot because it's getting dark, all I've got to do is push that button and it goes into night shot. And it does actually record quite nice actually. I think these only take a maximum of 64 gig. I've not tried anything above 64. But you know, it's a nice little camera, compatible, you know, nice little strap on there. So, you know, you don't drop it all the time. Even if you tip it upside down, you know, as long as the strap's tight enough, you can walk around. If you want extra illumination, you can buy IR light. These you can get cheap on eBay and Amazon. I think I bought 2 for like less than £10. They come like that, so you have to make your own power adapter. And what I got was I got a 9-volt battery covering with the actual plug on it. You get these off eBay and Amazon, a couple of quid each. Then all you got to do is plug that in like so, and then turn the IR on, and it'll illuminate. Now I don't know this. I know this battery ain't working. Let's try this battery. I think all my batteries are flat actually. One thing you do need to do though, if you're going to do ghost stunting, always make sure you've got plenty of damn batteries, because spirits do tend to like draining your batteries. No, I don't have another battery available, so I'm going to have to get some more. I bought 10 and I've already used 10. So, you know, these, as I say, you know, IR lights, illuminator lights, when they turn on, it looks like you ain't seen nothing, but you'll see all the lights light up, kind of like a little dotted red. You see that it's working. And these only usually work during the night time. Let's say when you turn it on, you see all these little red dots on the LEDs during the daytime. So it does mean it's working, but it's more used at night. And if you actually like put this towards another IR light, you'll see, you know, the reflection, and it'll show you it's working. If you can't afford to buy one of these ones or one of these ones, you can actually buy these little ones. You can get these up to about, well, anything from £20 up to like £100. Now these are just like standard normal digital camera, video recording cameras. You can take photos and video on this and put up to like 32 gig memory on here. I use one of these for my magnet fishing, my other hobby. And if you was willing to take a risk, you can actually take these apart. And if you undo this like little lens bit inside, you're coming to the actual proper lens, because it's just like the glass to cover the lens. There's a little square lens bit on there. If you remove that, that'll actually make that into a full spectrum camera. But I'd advise you to get it done professionally by, you know, the proper ghost hunting group who may already sell these as like converted. I usually add like another £10–15 on for them already be converted, but it is worth it, because in that way, you know, you don't have to go out hunting around for the camera that's already been hacked, unless you want to do that. It's up to you. But you know, for normal daytime, this will work normal daytime, and as soon as it starts getting dark, it start moving into like full spectrum. I can't remember actually. I think this one actually goes into full spectrum daytime and nighttime. But you could get two of these, one for daytime and one for nighttime. They're only 20 quid each on eBay. I think I paid like £25 for this one and converted it, hacked it myself. And I've had some pretty interesting results on these. There is one or two other little things I could probably quickly show you. Now, these I've not really used, but they could be okay for ghost hunting. They're about £15–20 each. This is an ultrasonic measurement device. Now, what this does is that it actually measures in ultrasonic a distance. So if you heard, say, like something bang beside you, and you've got a rough idea where it was, what part of the area it came from, you can actually use this as a measuring device, and it'll tell you how far that bang might have been. You know, I'm not saying every paranormal investigators group's going to ever use one of these, but I bought one because I thought it might come in handy. It's kind of like big and bulky, but no, it's not too bad. No battery in it, but it actually does measure, you know, the distance of where that sound may have came from. So, you know, for about 15 quid, £15, only a bad little device actually. And the other one which I bought is this 4-in-1 multi-function detector. It finds wood, metal, electrical lines as well as cavities. So, you know, someone could say to you, well, like, someone was buried behind the wall in a certain location, and you think, interesting. Now, they may tell you roughly where that particular area is. Yeah, battery's gone flat on this one as well. All my devices run out of batteries. I need to turn off. But what happens is that you use this and you use that, I think it is, to go into your different modes. I might turn off now. Sorry about this. You will get, like, you know, issues with some equipment. It takes like a 9-volt battery, just like everything else does. You know, mostly take 9-volt batteries. So I've actually take that one axe, it won't turn off. You know, when someone says, well, someone might have been buried behind that wall, you can actually use this to see if there is any cavities behind the wall, like to find out if there's any kind of gaps or hollow parts behind the wall. Also cracks and nookies and all that kind of stuff. And it's also good for like trying to detect electrical lines that may be hidden behind the wall as well, because, like, you know, people have been going into locations and they've been getting hits on a K2 meter or a millimeter, and they don't realize that, you know, cables can be hidden behind walls, and that's probably what's causing some of the false EMF readings. So with this, you can actually detect any hidden electrical cables. You can detect like gaps in the walls, You can also use it for finding wood and metal. Now, I'm not saying, you know, wood and metal will give off EMF, but if someone said there's a coffin hidden behind a wall, apparently this is meant to find wood. So if there's something wooden behind a wall, it might pick it up. I'm not saying it does, it just says it. And just to prove what it says, that's what it says. Finds wood, metal, electrical lines, and cavities. And that's what it is. It's a 4-in-1 multifunction detector from Powerflex. Powerfix. So, you know, for 15 quid, I think this was. I've got this from Macklins. I thought that could be handy because, like, you know, if someone does say that there's something being buried behind a wall, you know, you can actually tell if they, you know, if they're telling the truth or not. You know, it's not going to say, yeah, like, it's not going to come up saying, yeah, like, body behind the wall or like coffin behind the wall. But if someone says, like, well, a coffin was buried behind a wall, then that should hopefully pick up any kind of wooden objects and also any like cavities or possible like gaps behind the wall. You know, there's been stories of people being buried up behind walls in the past. You know, a shame it doesn't say like, you know, bones, you know, picks up human bones or something, because they're even more crazy. But you know, for a 4-in-1 functional multi-port tool, that's pretty good for the price. You know, it is plastic. You know, everything nowadays is plastic, and if you drop it, it can be broken. So, you know, be advisable to actually handle your gear with, you know, with ease. It's actually got these felts on there. I think I might put those on. I'm not sure actually. No, I think they come with a felt, so it doesn't get scratched up too badly if you're like having it on a table. But yeah, you know, for basic ghost hunting, you know, if I was to say, look, you know, this is 15 quid, right? If you want to measure, you know, the distance of that sound of where you heard, you know, like a knock or bang or something fell, then that's, well, that's another 15 quid. So that's about 30 quid, £30. A quid is a pound, by the way. If you're going to use a camera, you know, like one of these, or you can use your mobile phone camera, but, you know, if you want one which has been actually converted to full spectrum, you're talking around about 60 to £100. So let's say max £100. That's £160, right? Now, you know, there are choices. You could buy a camera, which you can convert, you can just take pictures, or you could buy a camcorder, which you can convert, which is £60, or you can buy one which has got normal IR, which is about £65. But I would actually advise you to buy something like this, because you can actually still take photos and video, or you can with that one as well, video and pictures. It depends on what you want, right? You know, you want to carry something bulky around, that's up to you. But if you decide to get one of those, you know, look on eBay, they sell them between 60 and 100. You know, it depends on the make of the camera as well. You know, you can actually record video on this as well, if need to be. How much video you can store in it, well, it depends on how big your memory card is. That's why, if I was going to start out again, if I wasn't into the ghost hunting, I'd buy something like this, because then you've got like 40 gig of hard drive. You can take pictures and you can take video as well. So, you know, let's say you're going to go for one of these. Say £75. £75 of 60 is £135 so far, yeah? 15 quid for one of these. Although it won't cost you, but I'm giving you a rough idea, 15 quid. So that's £150. Now, if you want to get one of these, that's up to you. You know, they're about £50 now. So that's like £185 in total so far. And then the digital recorder, about £40. You know, you get different makes, models. I would say get one which you can put an SD card in case you run out of your 2 gig. Some actual recorders last, you know, for ages. You know, you can get 8 gig ones, you can get 16 gig ones, and you don't need an SD card. But you know, you're talking higher money value then. So you know, one of these 2 gig, stick your own memory card in up to 32 gig. So I think this is about 50 quid actually, to be honest with you. So I've got one a little bit smaller, which hasn't got a memory card reader. I think that was 40. So say 50 quid. So you're talking about, I think I said about 185, £220, I think, not 85, £230 approximately. 220 to 230, something like that. So that's what you need. You want to go. Oh, and also one of these. If you don't go for one of those, and you've gone for like a just normal standard K2 meter, because you're going to want to check out, you know, the temperature. That's only like less than a £5. So you're talking, you know, 230 all in total. So that's what you're going to be using. No, you don't have to have these if you don't want to. So, you know, it's going to lower your money, the cost. But I would advise you to get something like these, because, like, I've not seen any ghost hunting groups use equipment like that. But you never know, like, you know, if you do a search on YouTube, you might find 1 or 2 people using it, but it's not very many people do use them. And it's just something like you can add to your, you know, little collection of ghost hunting gear, really. So there we go. And then later on, if you want to, you can always purchase. So this one was on the floor. This is another EMF, not EMF, digital recorder. This one I think's got 2 gig memory built in, but there's no way of actually transferring over the audio files on this one. There's no SD card, there's no USB adapter, nothing like that. Just put your batteries in and record, and you had to keep playing it back through this. I have found a way that you can actually put this onto a computer though, by putting that through your speaker, plugging it into your microphone on your computer, and then just like recording it through your computer through this, and that way you can actually copy the voice over through a non SD/micro SD card. I think it was about £35 this one as well. I can't remember. For some reason I just hit the recording button. You know, you can get so many different recorders. This is like another one that's got an SD card slot at the top, but you can't actually convert that. Well, you can like put this memory card in your computer and copy other files over, but there's nothing there to charge the battery up because it's just like a normal battery. Now, talking about batteries, as I said, like, you know, spirits do kind of like chew up your energy. They take all the battery energy life out of your devices sometimes. So it would always be best to buy like plenty of batteries. Now, people, some people I've watched have bought rechargeable ones, but unless you're willing to take that amount of time to keep charging up batteries, then that's good, because then that way you're saving money. So if you bought like 20 rechargeable ones, that would pay you back in the long run, instead of like keep buying batteries like I do. You know, these don't last that long. These are cheap ones, 2 for £1. Some devices, you know, you get quite a few hours of like usage out of this battery. But once it's used, you've got to throw it away. And once you start running that, you've got to go and buy more and more and more. So I've got something in my eye. So you would need to make sure you've got plenty of batteries, whether it be these ones, AA's, AAA's, 9-volt, whatever your device is taking. So I just make sure you've got plenty of battery power. And then maybe later, you know, once you start getting a bit more into the ghost hunting and you saved your pennies up, you could buy more equipment. You know, you could buy yourself a Ouija board if you're wanting to do communication through a Ouija board. Get them anything from about £40 onwards now. You know, you can get something like this, which is a thermal imaging camera, which has like 6 different filters in. This was originally £400, but I got it for £300 off Amazon. And you know, you have to keep changing different spectrums of light, and you've got to be quick to actually, like, you know, capture anything. So one moment, I've just got to see if that's the neighbour from upstairs. I've got the poster. Is that you, Amy? Oh, you know the post down here? Post. The postman came with my 41 package, but he gave me like loads of like small packages. No, number 3. Oh, I said, is that Amy? He said, yeah. All right. Oh, I tell you, people are getting deaf in there all day. I just heard the neighbour. I said, Amy. She goes, yeah. I said, I've got a load of post for you. She goes, oh, all right. I said, that's Amy. She goes, no. I said, I just asked that. Amy. She said, yeah. She goes, oh, sorry, I heard you wrong. I thought, okay. So sorry about that. I've got post for Amy upstairs. Load of post. So no, it would be advisable to get a load of batteries, you know, in the chargeable ones. Get some decent ones. I've got some batteries here somewhere, but they don't seem to charge up as well. And if you're into electronics, you can always build your own gear as well. Like I've done in the past, like, you know, different versions of DC boxes. A DC box is similar to a REM pod, which I can't remember. You know, this is a REM pod. These are my versions of the REM pod, which I've built. The REM pod is just like a device where it generates an EMF field around its antenna, and anything goes near it, anything that goes around that antenna will set it off. But these are expensive. These are like £140. I made my own ones similar to it, pocket sized ones, and I was selling these at like £45 each. That's the same thing as a REM pod does. So, you know, if you know how to build stuff, you can build your own stuff. You know, this one, I built this, another one of my DC boxes with a built-in static detector. And as you saw that one click in the middle, that is a static detector. So, you know, I've built several different types of these before. You can also get one of these, which is another EMF tri-field natural EMF meter. It picks up electric and magnetic and static. You know, these are about £90, between £90 and £100. And anything, you know, that goes near it sets it off, makes a clicking noise. But they can be temperamental, like, you know, if you're holding it, then it's going to give you false readings. But if you have it laying down or standing up on a table, no one's around it, it starts going off, then that means something's actually manipulating the device and setting it off. So that's another thing you could have in your arsenal. Most important thing you need for ghost hunting is protection. Crucifixes. Always wear crosses with you. You can get these cheap off eBay, anything from like a couple of pound up to £10, £20, whatever. And the other thing is, I would advise you to get, if there's going to be 2 or 3 of you in a ghost hunting group, I would never advise you to like separate. And if you do, have some form of communication. You can get walkie-talkies, anything from about £40 onwards nowadays. I think this one was about £50. And you get 2 walkie-talkies. You get 2 base chargers, so you don't have to keep sharing your charger and waiting for one to charge up and one not to charge up. So these are quite handy to have. So if you add that walkie-talkie kit to that, you're talking nearly £300 roughly. But you know, you don't have to go and spend £300 straight away. You just start off with a EVP recorder and a camera, like I did. You know, the EVP recorder was practically free because I put it on my mobile phone. But then I went and bought a camera, which cost me about £50. And that's what started me off on the ghost hunting. And I just started saving up my money and buying whatever I needed at the time. So I thought I'd let you know about what kind of equipment you can get and buy. You know, you can get other kind of equipment. There's so much ghost hunting gear out there nowadays, but the problem with ghost hunting gear, people will try to like rip you off on prices. So always like check, review before you buy, because like, you know, with this one for instance, I liked the looks of this because it's got like a built-on K2 kind of device. And they have got different ones of these as well. Like there's about 8 different models. Ones without this, ones with this. The ones without, you've got 4 different models. One with these, you've got about 4 or 5 other models like this. And I you know, before I bought one, I really wanted to check them out on different people's like channels. And I was watching their channels, and you know, I thought, yeah, that looks good. You know, they're getting results on that. And sometimes they got results on the K2 meter on this one, on that one, but weren't getting anything on that one. And then sometimes I'm getting a lot more on that one than they were on that one. Now, the only thing with these is that the same with the REM pod. If you drop it, you might break the LEDs. The LEDs are like not too worried or concerned about, because like what they've done with the REM pod is that the LEDs are actually inside, but they put in these like illuminator ones, and the LED shines through these, and you know, these can actually be taken off and new ones will be put back on. You know, I've dropped this a few times, and you know, these LEDs came off when I put them back on, and they seem to work again okay, because they're not actually connected. These ain't, they're just glued on. There's no wires coming off these whatsoever. They're just using them as like some kind of like illuminator, which, you know, which the LEDs underneath is illuminating these. So you've got 4 LEDs underneath these. Okay. Now, when you break the antenna, you can't replace it. The only thing you can do is, if you break it down the bottom, just get like a screwdriver and like try to open up that broken bit as much as you can, and then just place another antenna on top and then hot glue it. And that's what I had to do, because like there's no way of actually opening these. They're sealed completely, and that's what I mean by, you know, being ripped off, because there's no way of actually opening these. You have to either send it back, or you have to throw it away and get a new one. No, I didn't want to be throwing £150. Well, I think this was about £130 when I bought it. I didn't want to be throwing £130 away, so I just stuck another antenna on. And doing that, it does make it a little bit more sensitive as well. So, you know, every time I get the hits, it doesn't mean it's like spiritual. It could be just like it could even be an insect flying around, making it go off, because it's like an insect's breaking the barrier, the EMF barrier. And I've seen an insect go near it when it's gone off once before, and I think it was a moth actually. But you can actually repair them. You know, you can stick another antenna on and hot glue it, but it's going to be a bit more sensitive. Like this one as well. I broke the antenna on this one. It's kind of wobbly. I need to hot glue it a bit more again. You know, I've taken it apart, and what they've done is they've really stuck so much hot glue in there. It's impossible to take that off, not unless you're going to use soldering iron and like sit there for an hour to get every single bit off. So again, what I've done is I just like hot glued another antenna. But before I broke it, before I broke that one actually, I was getting quite a few results on that one. But when I got this one, it took me quite a while before I started getting hits on the K2 meter. You're talking about nearly a year before I started getting hits like that. And those only slight ones are, you know, 1 LED. And that doesn't mean that was spiritual. But I was hoping it was. But then, just recently, I've been getting more hits on it. So now, I've explained to the spirits exactly what it does. If they go near to the antenna, it will light up. And, you know, it's just like a K2 meter. Again, because it's coming apart. Yeah, I've got to get my hot glue gun out. So, you know, like, you can eventually start buying more equipment later on when you can afford it. But as I say, you're going to work in a group, it's always, you know, advisable to buy a set of walkie-talkies in case, like, you know, if issues, you might fall and hurt yourself and, you know, you need assistance straight away. So there we go. That's it. Cheers for watching. I'm going to go make myself a cup of coffee, put my gear back, and I might see you tonight. I don't know yet. Might do a stream tonight. I might not. I don't know yet. Catch you later, guys. Bye.